Just FYI, the cats are out, and Kamal's being a shit, so if you hear random hanking, it's probably Kamala being a shit. So, yeah, you fucking heard me. Anyways, tonight we're going to be talking about the board game we played on Saturday, which was Betrayal at House on the Hill. Not House on Haunted Hill, like I kept wanting to call it. Which would have been a way better name, but also a lot of words to say. So, game designers hire me. I'm, waiting for you. Anyways, so it's every once in a while, it's really kind of nice to take a break from playing D&D, because D&D unfortunately requires a lot of thinking, and there are some days where I am just not extremely creative, and the only thing I want to do is roll dice, send me that direction, hit the thing, tell me what loot I collected, and move on with my life. There are some days where I really don't want to even interact with NPCs. I just want to, I don't want to, sometimes it feels like, sometimes it feels like with D&D, if you don't roll well enough, it's a fight to try and get the information that you as a player should know and can glean, but your character cannot. So playing a board game is kind of a nice way to sort of get around that. And since it's our Spoopy month, we played Betrayal at House on the Hill, because it's not haunted, depending on what you pull. The game itself is rather simplistic in its setup. You start at the bottom floor, and you have a couple directions you can go. You can also go up the floor, and depending on the expansions that you get for the game, can sort of expand the layers of the house. Because of our limited table space, we were sort of limited in what exactly could be shown in terms of the house. So if you are going to play Betrayal at House on the Hill, I would definitely recommend playing on a larger playing surface of some sort, even if it's not a table, even if it's like the floor. Have a large space ready and prepared for this, because again, depending on how long the game goes on, will depend on how large the house can get. As you sort of saw in our game, we had multiple event cards that would get pulled. You had omen cards that would happen. Depending on the event or omen card would also depend on how you would roll to try and trigger the haunt. And the haunt could come in many different forms. There's a lot of... That's the one thing I actually love about Betrayal, is the fact that there are so many different haunts that you could get. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Saturday's episode, you should probably turn off the stream right now, or put it on mute and continue watching, and I'll just gesticulate wildly. And you can summarize from there. Whatever. Words are hard right now. So, spoiler alert, I was the one who was the haunt. So, my particular haunt was I got possessed by a demon. And so I had to go in my own little room and read my little thing, whereas everybody else hung out here and sort of tried to formulate their plan. And so there's a column that they give you in my particular setting. So if you are the one who is the haunted one, you have your scenario booklet of of what you know, and the players have a scenario booklet for what they know. So the players have their own goal and you have yours. It's sort of akin to D&D in this way, but it's already set up for you. So you know exactly what you have to do. So with the way that my haunt worked, basically my whole goal was to possess the other players. So I went after the slowest / first person I could grab, which was unfortunately Carolyn, because zero chill. So I managed to possess her first before they managed to figure out my name. And they had a pretty good run of it. So it's like at some point it sort of got to the point where we were all together in one room, and it was like Well, you guys have figured out the demon's name, so at this point, there's not really a point in continuing on, um, because we all know the name, so let's just end the game here. So it kind of became less fun at that point. But had I been a little bit smarter about it, I could have hunted down all the other players, and I think I could have gotten them. But in my little booklet, I had a chart of what to roll, like, sort of, it was like pick a number through 1 through 25 times. So I just rolled a d20 on my phone 5 times to figure out what letters I was going to roll, what letters I was going to pick out of each column, to sort of help make it a little bit more randomized, because, again, I didn't want to think. I was not in a thinking mood. So I kind of wish that the haunt had gone, or that the game had gone on a little bit longer, because I sort of wanted to explore the house a little bit more. And I really wish we had had a little bit more time to play the second round, just to see who else could have gotten a haunt as well, and that sort of outcome from it. Unfortunately, we were all sort of a little bit tired, and kind of just like, we're tired, let's do this. So, yeah. But again, board games can be a really great way to take a break from D&D, especially if you can have a board game that sort of is not necessarily all versus one, but sort of a game that plays against you. So I really liked Betrayal because of that. Because you didn't, like, if we played again, like, the house is going to be completely random again. We're not going to draw the exact same tiles. We're not going to play the exact same way that we had, probably. So it's a lot more randomized, and again, the replayability value of Betrayal is a lot higher. There are other games out there sort of, like, on the market. So the ones I'm most familiar with are Zombicide, and they have multiple iterations of Zombicide. There is classic Zombicide, which has like which is like one that's just called Zombicide, and I forgot the rest, but whatever. And then they have their medieval iteration of it, Black Plague and Green Horde being the core games. The other one which is more D&D like, is Massive Darkness. I have played Massive Darkness previously, and I liked that because it was basically like D&D. Pet the cat with your foot and they'll go away. It was basically like D&D, but without having to... But it was more hitty stabby than roleplay D&D. And that one was really easy to play because it's just like, oh, hey, you walk into this room, you kick open the door. Anyways, all these monsters spawn, go kill them and good luck. So that's kind of a lot more fun to sort of play. Again, if you're sort of feeling a little bit burned out on doing a roleplay game, definitely don't be afraid to pick up a board game. Board games are a great, especially if the rest of the group would be in for it, because board games are a great way to sort of give your brain that roleplay break, because sometimes that's really what you need, is just a week of, I don't want to be Brigitte. I want to be this pre-generated character who has 0 personality, and I'm going to hit things and play the game, and it will be fun, and it will end. So that's not to say that, I am tired of playing Brigitte, but there are some... Can you not? Nope, you just did. It's fine. Sorry, the tiny cat has discovered a small tower of washi tape, and being the tiny cat, decided to knock it over. Sorry. But again, going back to what I was saying, that's not to say that I'm necessarily tired of playing Brigitte, but after a while, sometimes it can become, like, it gets into a grind. And you definitely want to find a way to sort of break up that grind, if you will. Whether it's playing a one-shot, where I play Should, the half-orc paladin, or where I play Gary, the non-binary wizard, in massive quotation marks, because I did not play them correctly, but whatever. So sometimes it's nice to take a break from being someone that you're going to be all the time, and be someone else for a little bit. Just play pretend, be pretend somebody else. Be pretend Barack Obama and Joe Biden and whatever. Make your own game. It's fine. So, going back to the main topic, which is Betrayal. 10 out of 10 would definitely play again. I'm also very easily entertained, but I really feel like the replayability of the house is a lot higher. Also, again, because we had expansions, there was so much more we could do. There was a Widow's Walk that we had. I think that we also had, like, the basement expansion. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really did like it. It's a little bit complicated, and it looks really intimidating when you first start. But if you have other experienced players like Tony and Brian playing with us, it made the game go a lot quicker, and it helped especially myself and Carolyn, I think, out a lot more when trying to play. So before picking up a new board game, if somebody else in the group has played it, awesome. If not, just make sure you read the rules You read the rules thoroughly, like you do with most games, because that's a thing. Reading is fundamental. That's about all I've got right now. I know that was kind of super short, and I don't want to just end it at like 15 minutes, because that's weird and short. Can you guys think of anything? Any questions in chat? Chat being ridiculous. Oh, by the way, we're affiliate now. I don't know if you guys saw. Yay! We're affiliates. So that's great. We're gonna do some stuff with that. I don't know what. We're gonna do stuff though. It's gonna be great fun. Anything? Anybody? Bueller? Alright. Well, apologize that this episode is kind of short. Again, our session on Saturday was real short because we were all kind of tired. Tony had a previous engagement that day, and yeah, we were all just sort of tired. So we're gonna end the chat here, but come see us on Saturday, because we have our regularly scheduled Tales from Cyril back this week, starting at noon Eastern time, U.S. Eastern time. And then we have our another Swoopy one-shot, as run by Andy, Saturday at 6 p.m., so we're going to have a little break between games. And then Sunday, we're going to have our regularly scheduled River of Teresa. Yep. God damn it, we're going to always do that forever and ever, because they both have T's. So, River of Teresa, Sunday at 10 a.m., and then we'll be back again next week with another DM chat with Andy. Yay! Reviewing her one-shot. Masquerade? Nope. Not doing one-shot. Oh, no!
Wednesday is Halloween.
Next Wednesday is Halloween. We are going to play another Scooby game.
What's your favorite board game?
What's my favorite board game? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the one I have the most memories with is Monopoly, solely because we played it a lot during the summers in middle school, and it was really great fun to see the unique ways we could make each other rage quit. It was great. It became a contest at some point to see who could rage quit the fastest. Recently, though, my beloved friend Christy, who used to work with me, we played Timelines with her, and we played it on hard mode because basically the group we were playing with, we were all history majors, and with Timeline, you basically are given a thing, and you have to sort of guess where it goes in the stream of... You're basically given an invention, and so you have to sort of guess and figure out where it goes in the stream of history, and that was great fun. I'm really thinking I'm going to buy it and torture everyone here and make them play it, because it's fun.
You just want us to lose, don't you?
You know what? I actually lost at Timelines because I couldn't remember when something was invented. And at some point it becomes a guessing game because literally the timeline gets so full. You're like, okay, this thing could have been either the late 1700s or early 1800s. However, I don't know if it's before the pencil or after the light bulb. So, that's kind of great fun. So recently that's my favorite. Second favorite would have to be Massive Darkness, because I played that with friends, and it was basically like playing D&D, but not actually playing D&D. It was a great sort of dungeon crawler. So if you're into that sort of thing, definitely recommend Mass of Darkness.
Let's see. That was the only question.
That was the only question?
Favorite spoopy game?
Favorite spoopy game? Board game or not board game? Whatever. They didn't specify. I actually have played Betrayal at Baldur's Gate as well. And that one was kind of fun for a spoopy game. The one that actually sticks out the most to me that I will never ever play again, despite the fact that we had a really great time and it was very interesting, was Bluebeard's Bride.
I really want to run it again.
It was a very interesting experience. I would never again play it, but it was very interesting. It's sort of like if you know the tale of Bluebeard's Bride, if you don't, that's what Wikipedia is for. Go look it up. It's all, Bluebeard is one word, by the way. So you play the bride, and you are sort of trying to figure your way out through this house, and there's exactly 5 players, because each of you is playing the aspect of one person. So it's very interesting to see what direction things can go. Things did not go a great direction in our game, and it was sort of like, because the majority of us were women as playing this, we were sort of emotionally exhausted by the end of it, because, like, going through it, we were like, damn, this is awful. Damn, this still happens in real life. So, but it was a very fascinating game. 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. Would never, ever play it again. Unless, give me another year, and then I'll play it. When did we last run it?
A year ago.
A year ago?
It's been a year.
It has been a year, but give me another one. So that I'm less emotionally scarred by it. Maybe 2K19 goals we'll play Bluebeard's Bride, because it's fun. But we should play it with a bunch of dudes because it's great.
No, I would not run it with dudes. Because I don't think they would take it seriously, and it would destroy the game.
Yeah, depending on what dudes, though.
Because they would be like, well, I just punch somebody if they get up in my space.
Not all dudes are like that.
I know.
Hashtag not all men. Anyways. Any other questions that have come in? Comments?
Favorite non-vampire spoopy character?
All right. Okay, I'm guessing that was Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Totally Brian. Favorite spoopy non-vampire character?
Gotta think real hard.
Frick, I do have to think real hard about that. I would have to probably say, you'll have to forgive me for this one, but I really actually do like the Cthulhu Mythos stuff. I really do like it. I can't actively, go out and support it because of H.P. Lovecraft's and his racist-ass self. Seriously, H.P. Lovecraft, super awful human being. But I love the actual, mythos behind the Lovecraft. I like some of the characters, like the King in Yellow. Not necessarily Cthulhu himself, but I really do love, the art that people come up with for the Lovecraft characters. So, or the Lovecraft mythos. So, yeah, I would have to say things that are in the Cthulhu mythos. Those are probably my favorite non-vampire spoopy characters. Probably then after that would be things like the Death Knight. If any of you follow the D&D channel on Twitch, Chris Perkins was actually talking about this in their Lore You Should Know episode last night. So I really do like the concept of the Death Knight, the knight who literally will not die until he feels his purpose is fulfilled, which is completely different from a revenant. And I also really do like the idea of an Oni. If any of you watch Critical Role, they did have an Oni character in their newest campaign, and watching him die was amazing. So Onis, Death Knights, and Cthulhu Mythos. Favorite non-spoopy vampire characters. Hello, tiny cat. Oh no, you got startled.
Favorite.
Non-Strahd.
Favorite non-Strahd vampire. Lol. WTF autocorrect.
That was Brian.
That was
absolutely 100% Brian.
All of these are Brian. Brian, you should come over Wednesday and play spooky games with us on Halloween.
Yeah, Brian, you should totally come over and play spooky games with us.
Yes.
Hashtag call out. So I'm slightly ashamed to admit this, but I don't fucking care. I really like Digimon, and I really like the vampire Digimon Myotismon.
Yes!
He's my absolute favorite. See, the problem is that I also in fictional characters, when they are shit human beings, sometimes I really can't help but fall in love with them. And Strahd is a shit human being, and Myotismon is definitely a shit Digimon. Yeah, can't help it. So Myotismon, Strahd, yay.
Seems legit.
Seems totally legit.
Brian will consider it.
Consider it over here on Wednesday.
You can pick a game. I don't know if you can hear me.
He probably can. He's probably streaming this at home. It's fine.
He absolutely is streaming it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Okay. Well, I think that's filled up enough time. So, to recap our schedule, we have Cyril at 12 p.m. Saturday, followed by, we're going to take a brief break, and then we will have our Spoopy one-shot at 6 p.m., which is the Masks
and Monsters.
Masks and Monsters. I knew there was masks in there somewhere, and I didn't want to call it Masquerade, because that'd be wrong. And then Sunday at 10 a.m., we have River of Turicel.
Yay!
Followed by Wednesday, Spoopy Games. Ooh, which Brian should come over for. So I don't know what time we're going to start, but more details as they emerge. Probably over the weekend. Yay! Maybe. We're just going to start this and not tell anyone. It's fine. We'll just wait till the notification goes up.
Normal time.
Yeah, probably start at our
Maybe
normal time.
slightly earlier.
Who knows? We'll decide that come Wednesday. All right.
Keep your eye out on social media sites. We'll post and
Speaking of, if you have any games that you want to suggest to us or whatever, we are at Roll for Trouble on basically any social media site ever. Twitch, Twitter, Tumblr.
Now gonna be a shit.
Facebook, Instagram. Which, if you're not following us on Instagram, you are missing out a lot on cat photos, man.
Susie's washi tape.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm real glad you guys are in love with my washi tape, man. Alright, so, anyways, that's going to wrap up tonight's DM chat. And you guys get to view more into my love of vampires and shit human beings. I love villains, and I'm not even sorry. So, with that, we're going to cut out for the evening. So, bye, Internet. I'm going to awkwardly wave while I turn off this recording, the stream.
Toodaloo!